Let's start at the beginning. First pass as a college quarterback goes for a touchdown against Michigan State. What was that moment like for you?
Oh man, that was special. You know, finally getting the opportunity to go in and play, not to mention Michigan State was the year they won the Rose Bowl, but you know, just kind of getting called in on the fly. A quarterback just went down and going in and executing the play, and then first pass, touchdown. Something that was just so special, an awesome moment, and something that I'll remember forever. But was definitely, I wasn't expecting it, but for it to happen that way was awesome.
Could you have dreamed anything up like that, or would it have just been like a fantasy?
I think that'd be everybody's dream, you know. Everybody's dream would be to throw a touchdown pass on every pass, obviously, but let alone your first one, obviously, in a big moment, in a big environment like that, a packed house in Michigan State and East Lansing was just amazing.
Well, obviously you've come a long way since then. So since you stepped foot on the field for Western Michigan until now, where are the biggest areas that you've improved as a quarterback and also as a leader of this team?
I think a lot of it comes from, you know, kind of developing your confidence and really understanding and mastering the offense that you play in, but also the defenses that you're going to go against. I think that's been the biggest jump for me with the experiences. I'm more prepared to see different defenses, and I understand our offense, and I'm in the process of mastering it, so that way, you know, there are no surprises anymore. I've pretty much seen every look. There's not something that someone can give me that I won't be expecting or won't be ready for.
How well did Homestead prepare you to play on this level?
I think they did a tremendous job. Obviously, there's a huge jump from high school to college in terms of, you know, the athletes. Everybody that is on the field was, you know, an all-star at their high school, was an all-state player. I think that was the biggest jump, but for me, having, you know, like Bill Skelton, offensive coordinator at Homestead, and Coach Zolman did an awesome job of teaching and coaching and instructing and really giving me the basics that I needed when I came here. And then from there, obviously the coaches here, Coach Shiraka and Coach Fleck, have really done an awesome job of building on that and helping me grow as a, you know, athlete, but also as a student and as a person on top of that. But it definitely set me up, and is, you know, I really am grateful for everything that I learned in high school.
What's the one thing that you most take away from your time at Homestead that's allowed you to thrive and succeed here?
You know, I think the biggest thing for me is, you know, whenever I go back and I talk to people, it's just the amount of people that believed in me. And I think that's huge. You know, it gives you the confidence, it gives you the drive to, you know, there are people out there that are rooting for you, that always have your back. And I'm constantly getting texts and getting reminders saying like, hey, we love you, we're thinking of you, we're praying for you, you know, we want you to be successful and continue to, you know, represent Fort Wayne. And I think you're starting to see a movement, really, you know, with me and Jalen Smith and Jared Murphy, guys like that. You know, Fort Wayne is getting the respect that it deserves. Because when I came out, I was one of the few in a long time that had really gone to a Division I program. And I think you're starting to see a lot more, and colleges are starting to go there, and they're really starting to respect it, and they're starting to believe in Fort Wayne. So I think that was the biggest thing that I've kind of taken from that, is that they believed that I could do it, they believed in me, and that's kind of what I've taken. And I hope that to give that back to Fort Wayne, and we can show that, you know, Fort Wayne's a place that plays football, and we play it pretty well.
29-5 as a starting quarterback at Homestead. Is there one win or one throw or one specific moment that sticks out in your mind more than others?
Honestly, no. And I wish there was. You know, we never, you know, won sectionals. We never won anything like that. We were really successful in the regular seasons and stuff like that. But I just, you know, enjoyed my time so much, you know, with the guys and the coaches, and I loved Homestead. It was awesome, and the memories that I have there will last me a lifetime. But there's really no one game in particular that, you know, I love. I always loved beating Norwell, obviously being a huge rival for us. I always loved playing Snyder in the playoffs. That was always a ton of fun. But really, I really cherish every game and every opportunity that I had to, you know, represent Homestead as their starting quarterback.
When you're a sophomore, getting ready for that first game as a starting quarterback, getting ready to go up against Huntington North,
yeah,
as is tradition. What was going through your head, and at any point did you envision being a Division I quarterback at that point?
Honestly, I was more prepared to play Division I basketball than I was to play football. I thought, you know, I'd had a really good year, freshman year. I'd broke my thumb in football, so I didn't get the opportunity to play. But I had a really good freshman year in basketball. So going into sophomore year, I'm like, I'm probably going to play basketball. And then, you know, that first game, I had a pretty good game, and I was kind of thinking to myself, you know, like, I might be pretty good at this football game. And then, you know, the year kept going, and I, you know, kept getting better, and it started to kind of open my eyes. I really loved football. My passion was football. Being an Indiana boy, we're kind of bred to, you know, love. Our first passion is basketball. But as time went on, I was like, you know what, I really like football, and I liked it because of, like, the team aspect of it. I really loved, you know, having, obviously here we have 105 guys, but in high school we have probably about 70 guys, and just getting to know everybody and using all those pieces and really having to rely on the team and use everybody, because everybody is critical. And I think that part is what set football apart from basketball. But that first game is just like, after that I was like, I think I might be pretty good at that, and the rest is history.
Coach Fleck calls you the coach of the offense. Given that leadership role, how do you use that as a platform, and what is it like that guys are, I mean, you're 21?
22.
22.
Yeah.
Being looked at as a leader of a Division I football program?
Obviously there's a ton of responsibility, but it's something that I wouldn't have any other way. You know, Coach Fleck and Coach Shiraka have really, you know, given me the information, you know, given me all the background, everything that I need to be successful. And it's my job to go out there and perform and to lead the guys around me, because I am the quarterback, I am the coach of the offense, and it's my job to make sure that they're in the right spots, they're doing what they're supposed to do, and not only am I executing myself, but they holding them to the standard to execute at a high level and continue to change their best. And I think that's what I get a lot out of, and I really enjoy that aspect of it. And it's kind of like a chess match for me, kind of figuring everything out and realizing what I need to do, but it's something that I enjoy, and I'm, you know, I feel, you know, very proud, and I really appreciate Coach Fleck giving me that responsibility and that opportunity to be that.
With the Good Works team, with all you've done outside of football in the community, what drives you to be not just a football player, but somebody that, you know, can touch lives, I guess, outside of the game of football?
Well, I just feel so tremendously blessed. I feel like God's given me so much, and, you know, not only that is, you know, what Western Michigan, the opportunity they've given me to come here and play football, and on a full ride scholarship. It doesn't really get any better than that, and I feel like I've been so blessed. And the opportunities I get to take a little time out of my day to help somebody else when I've been given so much is really, you know, I don't see like it's a sacrifice at all. I get more pleasure and more gratification out of doing that than anything, because, you know, seeing a smile on a kid's face when you're out there coaching them up, whether it's at a camp or whether I'm going to a Tree of Life, which is a, you know, a school that I help mentor kids, whatever it is, or hospital visits, it could be anything, you know, just to help impact and, you know, glorify the kingdom more is awesome and really special, and it's something that I get more pleasure out of in a lot of ways than, you know, running out of the tunnel and playing football, because I know that I'm doing something more and I'm helping somebody, you know, better themselves, but in turn it's bettering me.
Talk about the Tree of Life, because that's obviously a passion for you.
Yeah.
What is it specifically about that program, about that school that sticks out to you, and just kind of what is a typical day when you go there? Yeah,
I think why it's so special to me is because those kids in the area that they're at is kind of what I've grown up with my dad. My dad works at Lifeline Youth and Family Services, and they work with a lot of kids that are from neighborhoods like this and are from areas like this that kind of have the background that a lot of these kids have. The Edison neighborhood, which is where the Tree of Life is the most diverse, but also the poorest community in the surrounding Kalamazoo area. So, you know, there's a lot of unrest there. There's a lot of, you know, really bad things going on. So to have a school like that that gives those kids a Christian education and gives them opportunities, you know, like me, to come in there and mentor those kids and give those kids a positive role model is what makes it so special to me. And not to mention the kids are awesome. And what I do normally is I'll go there during recess, and I am basically the recess disciplinarian, or really I'm just there to kind of watch the kids and make sure, you know, the kids aren't doing what they're supposed to and that they're staying in line, but also just getting the opportunity to play with them and just, you know, see those kids interact with them, give them, you know, a positive role model, somebody that can, you know, have fun with them, but it can also show them the right way to do things. And we do a lot of activities outside of school too. We have one every month, and we'll do something, whether it's, you know, in October we'll do a pumpkin carving, or we'll go to, you know, the arcade and do stuff like that, or we'll go bowling, just different fun stuff to interact with the kids, to give them, you know, something outside of the Edison neighborhood that they can do that's fun and, you know, that's constructive and that they know is safe. So I think that's why it's so special to me. The kids and everything that the school stands for and what they're building is really special and something I really enjoy being a part of.
getting back to football, obviously, you've accomplished a lot. This season you started, 33 of 50 for 365 yards, a couple of touchdowns against a really good Michigan State defense. Where are you looking to grow in your game, and then ultimately, what's the goal in terms of the game of football for you?
Well, I mean, you can always grow. 33 of 50, you said it right there. There's 17 incompletions, 2 turnovers in that game. There's a lot that you can continue to grow on. And that's why football is so much fun, because you can always get better. You can always change your best. And that's why you see the best players in the pros do. That's what you see the Peyton Mannings do, the Andrew Lucks. They're constantly changing. They're constantly making themselves better and trying to find that edge that's going to continue to make them better. And that's the same thing I'm doing. And I'm out here every day just trying to change my best, find ways to get better, whether it's, learning more about the opposing defense I'm going against, whether it's, improving my accuracy on the field or increasing my arm strength or whatever it is. There's always ways to improve. And I think, that's the biggest struggle with a lot of people is they kind of sit back and like, hey, I've made it. Yeah, I was all MAC last year, but, you're only as good as your next game. And I think that's the way that I approach it and the way that I look at it. And Coach Fleck and Coach Raka and my teammates do a great job of continuing to push me. And I'm going to continue to push myself because I know, how much better I can be and how much better I need to get in order for us to reach the goals that we have.
Your career in a lot of ways parallels Chandler Harnish's.
Mm-hmm.
He got his shot in the NFL. Is that something you're ultimately looking to do?
No, honestly, I'm really just focused on college football right now and, Georgia Southern. But if that opportunity comes in the future, obviously that'd be a tremendous, honor and something that I would love to do because I love the game of football and I'd love to play it in the future. But right now I'm just, I just feel so blessed and I'm so excited to be playing for Western Michigan University and playing college football, which I absolutely love. And this really focused on Georgia Southern, but in the future, I never would turn an opportunity like that down.
Final question, your time at Homestead, how would you summarize the time playing football for Homestead for you? And also, is there any part of you that wonders, I wonder if I'd have played basketball?
I think, what kind of summarizes like the football experience is brotherhood. The Boys of Fall song by Kenny Chesney is like something that really comes to mind because it really is truly a brotherhood. I still talk to those guys all the time about memories of football games that we had or this and that. And it's so much fun to have those times. And I always tell kids when I go back to high school, soak up every moment, enjoy it, because those are some of the best times that I've ever had, and high school is the best, and it really doesn't get much better than that, than just hanging out with your boys, playing under the lights on Friday night, and it just doesn't get any better than that. And I think that's what really comes to mind is brotherhood, is having guys that are going to be lifelong friends with lifelong memories.
So back to my question about basketball, do you ever think about, man, if I'd have been a basketball player, you guys had a lot of success. You were ranked number 2 in the state at one point.
Yeah.
When you were playing for them, you ever think, oh man, I wonder if I'd have pursued that?
Well, the Hoosier in me, yeah, definitely thinks about it. And when I go to more basketball games than any other athlete and watch, ask any of the basketball players, they'll tell you I'm at almost every game. And there definitely is a part of me that's like, I wonder if I would have played basketball. But I love football, and I'm so, I feel so honored to play this game and to play it for Western Michigan University. But, I mean, obviously the Hoosier me's always got to wonder, hey, what if I played basketball? But I love football, and, I loved those memories in high school, especially that senior year, getting the opportunity to play in the regional championship, something the farthest we'd ever been at Homestead was truly special. And now you've seen Homestead, they just won state last year, and, I'm sure they'll continue to do great things. And I just love those memories, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Row the boat.